Heyo, what up? So during the summer holidays, I had like 2 weeks where I had nothing to do. So I created this network scanning tool. It's not really finished, but the core features work. And as with anything, you can find the documentation and source code on my GitHub. The link will be in the description. So how can you actually use this tool? Well, you can start by cloning the repository. The following steps will differ based on your operating system. If you're on Linux, first you need to compile the project and then you need to run the output as a sudo. However, if you're on Windows, just open the console window as an administrator. As you can see, the program is, as I said, not finished. There are a lot of windows that don't actually do anything, so you can close these. If you've accidentally closed any of the relevant windows, you can open them up by going into this menu right here and clicking on it. You can also rearrange the UI however you wish. So what you can see here is a computer that doesn't really do anything. It's just there to show you something on the screen. We can now go ahead and proceed and add this device, like my own computer. So we'll go ahead and click add, not add a new device, add this computer. As you can see, this is my IP address and this is my host name. We can now delete this computer because it's not actually there. Now I want to know how many devices in this network can be reached by my computer. We can click on Discovery inside Network and we can start an IP range scan. In here, you can choose a way of writing the IP address. It can either be an inclusive range, a CIDR notation, or you can manually input the IP addresses. To be honest, I want to scan the whole range. Ping timeout. Since we're on localhost, we can say that if a device doesn't respond within, 100 milliseconds, it's probably offline. I also want to exclude localhost, which is my IP address, from this range. And I want to remove connectivity to existing nodes. So I'll go ahead and start a scan. So as you can see, I found 12 active IP addresses on my network. I'll go ahead and rearrange the nodes because right now they're spawned randomly. Cool, now we know which computers in the network actually respond. However, having them as IP addresses is quite annoying. I would rather see the host name instead of the IP addresses. So I'm gonna go ahead and retrieve the host name for all of these devices. So you can click on Discovery and retrieve host names for all devices. As you can see, it already started. And right now, I can get a better understanding of what actually runs there. For example, the 0.17 IP address is vuzero.home. If you were to Google, you would find out that Vuzero is, kind of like the satellite or set-top box. And another example, the 0.165 is tapobulb.home. And again, if you were to Google, you can find out that Tapo is a brand that makes light bulbs. So this IP address is actually an IP address of my smart light bulb. And you can go and Google each one of these. I don't really care, to be honest. For example, this is my phone at the moment, which is ironically recording this video. What's the next thing that you can do? Well, as you've seen many times already, you can click on the device and there are 3 sub windows. The first one is for your nodes, the IP address, and the host name. So for example, if I were to delete the host name, I can retrieve it once again. Then there are actions which only consist of the delete button at the moment. And then there is the most interesting sub window, and that's port scanning. once again, you can see 3 sub-windows. I usually go for the common ports scan, which includes the most interesting ports from the port 1 up until the port, I don't know, 655, something, it's U8 maximum value. However, in this case, I want to scan from the port 1 to the port to 1023. Connection timeout, I'm gonna set it once again to the 50 milliseconds. I want to try banner grabbing. However, I don't really want to try fuzzing because that could take a while. And I'm gonna leave the socket read-write timeout at the default. I'm gonna start the scan. And as you can see, start right here. Now that we've finished the scanning part, we can view the results. As we can see, these are the ports that are opened on this IP address. These are the possible services guesses. Basically, I grab the port, and based on that, I determine which service it could possibly be. If you hover over the service, it's gonna give you a hint. Next to it, we can see the banners. Basically, because we selected banner grabbing, we can hover over here and read the result that we got from a banner request. Now, gradually, we've retrieved more and more information about the device. We started out with an IP address. Then we retrieved the host name. After that, we've scanned the ports. We've seen what ports are open. And we can also see which versions of that service run on there thanks to the banner grabbing. And yeah, we can go ahead and perform these exact steps for each of these devices. As you can see, for example, on my smart light bulb, there is a port 80 opened, which is really, really, really bad. And I should probably fix that. So yeah, that's it. This is just a program that I made. The most challenging part was implementing the IMC MP, I'm not really sure, from basically the ground up. And yeah, feel free to check out the source code and have a lovely rest of your day.
Baby, I'm calling for you, and I'm stuck in a loop. Baby, I'm calling.